Hey, Decathlon Gamer, welcome back to PCM23 Lions episode number 9. Key race. We need a top 3 in the overall GC. 5 stages. Last time we got through stages 1 through 3. So it's now stage 4. This shouldn't be a bad race, a bad stage. It's got one big climb and we're about to hit it. And there will be some downsides. I mean, it's not going to be a perfect opportunity here. Not everybody's going to reach the finish, but right now there's already a rider off the back. The breakaway has gone differently than expected. It was too big. There was 9 riders. 5 more as we chased and didn't want to let them get away, and then suddenly decided, okay, fine. 9 riders, I guess, whatever. And as the peloton sat up, a bunch of others suddenly decided that, oh, we're going to take this opportunity, and 5 others attacked. Drifting back way too fast here. We're going to have to speed up. Halfway up the climb already. Not drifting much anymore. We're more or less holding position now. Yeah, even Abdia, who's riding solo, is doing all right with it. We are getting close to having some riders lost, though. And if we can... Zerai fading, but the tempo's not bad. Well, anyway, those 5 attacked, and at first, our lead jersey guys, that team put their foot down and was like, no way! They let it go, though. They ended up letting it go. So 13 riders got away, but because of the intensity of the climb, very quickly a couple guys were dropped from that group, the intensity of that chase. So it dropped it down to 11. We had a few attack right before the top of the climb, so not even sure what we're even at. There's 14 off the front total. 318 is the ultimate gap, 85k to go. Let's leave it up to other teams for now. Let's get our recovery on for now. Our 3 domestiques hurting. Zerai especially, because he's got a -3 today. We'll need to get water one more time, but it's not quite time for that just yet. 81k to go. Not that much undulation the rest of the way, but there definitely is some, and there's definitely some close to the finish. So we'll have to make sure we're pulling it back. And we're also going to have to check in on the 8 and 6 riders ahead of us to make sure we might have to contribute. We've got to secure our top 3. I'm going to wait that 10k, get that water, and then we're going to check in on the front group. I'm not worried about the one just ahead of us. You can see how we're already closing in on these guys and bringing them back. And that time gap is starting to shrink. And the front group is starting to split up. Zerai was dropped. Such is the pace. Johannes Dalek beginning his fade. Ashimwe beginning his fade. Those are not going to be our guys to get water. In fact, I'm going to take these 2 and drop them down. I want them out quickly because it's time to get water. Okay, time to recalculate. Gibbons has made it through the hard part, so we're going to keep Gibbons in support. If he gets good race day condition again tomorrow, you never know. He sits 4th. Kudos. So Abdia, Davids, they'll turn to protecting those 2, and Abdia, yeah, that's close enough to the top. Go ahead and get the water. 59 now chasing 4 and down to 1:45. So I'm no longer afraid of that front group staying away. They will be caught soon enough. We don't have a lot of firepower for a sprint train lead out situation, but with 4 guys and our leaders, I think we'll be just fine. Most of the climbing will be done after this hill that we're on, this uncategorized one right here. The last 3 are all shorter, easier climbs. And our top 2 guys look good, Gibbons in particular. Front 4, the gap has actually grown slightly. At 25, 30k should be okay. very short but steep. Cat 3 coming up. And also close enough to the end. Let's roll those guys up to an 83. 1K, 10%. Abdia, certainly feeling it. Split the group in half. We're down to 35 in the peloton. They regain contact and full on attack. These are guys that came from behind attacking. 20K to go. Is there a response? One guy going clear. Second one attacking. Are these guys, they're attacking. All right. I guess it's time to put our foot down. Gently put our foot down. That's the front of the field. It's not far away. And now it's just 2. So Dia, nice and gentle like 31 seconds to those guys. Here's another attack. Out of energy for Abdia, but just go max. That's still faster than what anybody else wants to do right now, so that'll keep those 3 guys in check for a while. Let's gel up with Davids. He'll take over soon. 13K. Not worried about the intermediate sprint here. $12K. Davids waiting on that gel. Now we get some support. David's gel kicks in, and we're inside 10K. We'll go a 94. 25 seconds to the front 3, and a little hill coming. And with Gibbons here, we've got a chance in the sprint. There we go. Pushing 99. No red bar, but pushing 99. Stockwell. Nope. Need more tempo. David's try to grab on as best you can. Abdia, see you later. Oh, for a second there, we split it down to just 7. Just 4 guys keeping up with us. 5K. We need to make sure Kudos does not run out of energy on this. 4K. David's still here. 2K. And sprinting for Kudos with his yellow bar. Oh, Gibbons, I forgot to gel. And Gibbons sprinting. That's Zerai getting lapped. Oh, but there's somebody there that you couldn't see. Stockwell. Stockwell mixed in with him. Oh, we just missed a top 3 as well. Gibbons gets 6th. Kudos is going to be 17th. Overall standings after 4 stages. Remember, we need a top 3, and stage 5 is going to have a lot more climbing. It's going to be a proper mountain stage. So what we have, minute 40 at 36th. So these guys are probably out of contention unless we see really big gaps on the final stage of multiple minutes. But you get inside a minute at 20th. There are still certainly contenders depending on how the stage goes. But in terms of the same time key guys, without bonuses, we're talking about 10th and above. That's it. Everybody else has lost time at some point. Like Stockwell moves up 18 spots, but he'd still lost time previously. Gibbons, Davids are among the group that have gained no time, and Kudos did. Remember, we had that punchy 3rd stage where we managed to get him a podium. He was 2nd on the stage, right? So he still sits 2nd overall, though it's not trailing who he was trailing. Cockerly is the one leading the overall. He's 58 seconds behind. So today he lost a significant chunk. Okay, so the good news, as we're getting started here on the final stage, the good news is we are 2nd overall, but on same time, and we're in a great position. The bad news is Kudos has gotten a -2 draw. He's our favorite. The other good news, overall in the field, there isn't a lot of quality. Kudos is amongst the best climbers here. It's going to give us a shot. But that -2, that's going to hurt. Gibbons, great race day condition, so we are definitely going to ride for Gibbons as well. The +6 difference in race day condition between them. Davids is also well positioned and is a contender. Johannes Dalek, Abdia is definitely going to be in a support role with that sort. Go ahead and put him on Kudos. And Zerai comes in with a +2. Much better race day condition and a decent climber. Way down on time, though, but we'll still make our choices. Shimway. Let's see. We know Gibbons is one I want to ride for. Zerai. Capable. Very capable today. Davids, not so much. He's got some bonuses, but let's go ahead and focus on those guys. And maybe Davids instead can sit up and Johannes Dalek, with the time gap he has. There we go. We'll protect Zerai, who is essentially the third man. So another team's going to be forced to do the dirty work. I like that, but we're going to ride with the entirety of this stage as there's a lot of climbs along the way. 5 to be exact, but we're already at 126k to go. This is one of those short, intense stages, which was why our 70 was not the kind of effort we needed to move forward towards the front of the pack. And you can see now with a 75, at the moment it's not blinking. It is as we approach top, off and on. That's right about what we needed. One climb down. Everybody's still in the peloton for now. None of the teams, none of the climbers are great. It's going to give us a chance. I do think we have a chance at this top 3. Kudos on that -2, though. Yeah, that hurts. Gibbons may end up being the guy at the end of the day. We'll see. But we'll easily have navigated our first 2 climbs, and we'll get plenty of recovery on the descent to set us up for the 3rd climb. I'm not counting this little Cat 1. I'm definitely not counting that little Cat 3. Tiny little bumps in the road. I have no idea how you get a Cat 1 after a Cat 2 on the descent. It's one of the strangest points I've ever seen. Alright, let's get water. We need it already. We're going to need it again, but now's a good time. David's the lone man riding solo. We'll have him do it. He's good on downhill. $87K. After this climb, we'll get water again. And I think we're going to have to up the effort a little bit for this climb. Just a little. We'll try to hold this 77 if we can. Oh, coming down a little too fast there, David's 78 now. There we go. That's good. 78's fine. Just 3 riders in the break, 2.5 minutes away. That makes them not much of a threat unless that gap starts to go up real fast. And it did increase. It's up to 3 minutes. That's KOM Hunters. And down we go. 60% of the way on the climbs. 2 climbs to go, but the biggest one of the day is still a looming threat. Abdia just hanging on for now. Really didn't get a lot of recovery in either. And we've got a false flat here for a while that we're going to have to deal with before we hit that climb. And Abdia looks like he's not going to be with us for that. And we're also down to 60K. So somebody needs to get water. Yeah, it's Dalek. We'll send him to do it. I'd rather keep David's fresh. He's going to be used as a domestique fairly soon. Two minutes to those front guys. And we're going to slow things down to a ×2 as we begin the penultimate climb of this race. We're on that 78. Abdia dropping fast. Let's go ahead and put him on auto, and let's get Davids to protect the now lone Kudos. And the guys at the front are chasing pretty hard right now. Figueiredo sits 8th overall. 74 Mountain. He's the highest rated one in the entire field. Johannes Dalek has been dropped. And we're quickly down to 48 riders. Chasing 3. Davids, Gel, Shimway. Oh, it's too late for him. Kudos struggling. Full team effort, and they're feeling good today. Stewart, 14th overall. Shimway about to get dropped. 17th place, Sook. 3rd place rider has been dropped. There's Davids, who sits 10th. There's Conch, featured in the last stage, but he's down a little bit in the overall. There's another rider, Sivak, going out. Molinar going out. We're going to be down to 30 riders. Culverwell. In fact, this whole team struggling at the back, but there goes Zerai as well. Kudos. Yeah, I think this is going to be the Gibbons show. Kudos struggling. 2 riders left at the front, 56 seconds ahead. Sunderland is a 70. De Beaumarchais. It's only a 67 Mountain, but he's 9th overall. Surprised he was allowed to form in the break today. Gap increasing right now, but I want both of these guys to ride individually and then recover on the descent as much as possible. Not worried about the sprint point. The next rider behind is Zerai, looking like he's got a chance of getting back up there. We'll ride with him for the next little bit. I'd love to see him regain contact. Little up the effort situation and then sit on. Did we need water again? No, we're fine. 31K to go. Not good descending. We have enough energy to sprint. So sprint. No, can't sprint long. Wow, that descent happened really fast. And Zerai did not make contact on that descent. Put him back on auto. I don't think we're going to see him again. That descent happened very, very quickly. It looked like it was going to be longer. It was not. Gibbons, for sure, is our guy. Kudos. You sit 2nd overall. But Gibbons, only a 6-second difference. And we're looking at seeing a lot more than that. Finish is uphill, but that descent's going to be quick. It's not as steep, though. It's still going to be quick. You'll get a little recovery to set you up for that last little climb, but clearly Gibbons far better form, and that 6 seconds will make a much bigger difference. The 2 guys at the front have a 1-minute advantage. Reisabik, 18th overall, leading things out. How are guys with 63 Mountain? They've got good form. That's clearly their path here. Gibbons. Time to start pushing a little bit harder here. Kudos. It's not going to last too long, but we don't want to drift back. I cannot believe how many riders a couple of these teams have. They are stacked for the base of this climb, where I've got 2 guys. And Kudos is about to not be one of them. 2 teams looking really strong. But these guys are hanging out at the back. Arroyo, he's a puncher. Culverwell. Yeah, he's only a 64 Mountain. Kudos. Considered the front. He's the favorite. Yeah, I don't see it, but okay. Yeah, this team is going to get dropped For sure, they got one guy that's kind of 71, but otherwise they're going to go backwards. One guy off the front. Who is it? DeLang, 4th overall. I don't want to be attacking this early. Morgado, 26th. Is he chasing or attacking? Because if he attacks, his team's not going to pull. But Habby is up there, right? Yeah, there's the leader. Dreg pulling back for that other team, and now suddenly looking weak, but it's still 8K to go, and Gibbons really not looking strong enough to be going 8K on his own here. 2 guys, 1.5 minutes ahead, pulling away. That's dangerous territory. Definitely not wanting to contribute at this point with Gibbons. Nervous about those guys, but at least there is a chase. But Habby working. Those 2 at the front are working, so this is good for us. It's weakening them. Gibbons, no strength. Gibbons has no strength. Struggling to just to keep up. The group's down to 17. Gel, 4.5K. Position recovered, but no support. Front 2 guys. Front guy, it's Morgado. DeLang, way up the road. He's 1:11. So that's something to keep in mind, that we have a chance to catch him. If we have something, we'll attack. But you can see Gibbons not in a position of strength here. Remember, we are a very, very weak team trying to hang on. Gibbons is a sprinter who's somehow the last guy surviving on a climb. 2K to go to the top, and he is really, really running out of energy. I don't want to see an attack here because he can't respond to it. What I want to see is this group survive together over the top. And Gibbons is not going to survive. Maybe. One guy attacks, but can be caught on the descent. Damn. Gackerly. Yeah, the former leader of the race. Gibbons now getting a little recovery. We'll have something for the top, but yeah, this is not looking good, folks. Not looking good. It's going to be a top 10. Definitely a top 10. DeLang has already crossed the line, 4.4K. Saving it for that last little sprint to try to cover that 30 seconds. 5 guys ahead, 2.7K. Let's start pushing. $1K to go. Very steep, very steep, very steep. Overcome that. Overcome that. Come on now. No, that just burst through the energy really quick. Habby gets 3rd. Dredge gets 5th. Some of these guys are non-contenders. We've still got a chance at finishing in the top 5 for the overall, but we're definitely not going to finish in the top 3. Gibbons gets 8th on the stage. Is that enough? Probably not. Kudos has gone over the top, but only just. That's a -2 race day condition with a rider who's not good enough. He needs to be recovering here a little bit more for that final uphill swing. It's very steep till that intersection. Get through the intersection. Oh gosh, there, and he's gone. 30th. Ouch. It's alright. Get through that and then sprint. He doesn't have anything left either. Okay, these guys do. They've just gone over the top though. Let's see. Davids is... no, not a sprinter. Shimway. Follow Davids. Davids. Start your sprint now. 3K. And then, yeah, push through there. And then a Shimway. 44th and 45th. Lack of team support and a -2 overall for our expected team leader has led to a pretty tricky day. Time gaps are rather huge. Once you exclude delaying, we're looking at 4:46 to starting with Woolen, 45 seconds to Gibbons. He's only 15 seconds behind a couple of these guys. He's got a chance. There's 4 from that Glassdrove team. That's just how strong that Glassdrove team was in comparison. 74, 70, 73, 71. Lots of guys in the 70s. If they had the race day condition, that's great. I only had one rider who was in that kind of territory. We do pull away from Cockerly and Seidel. Gibbons was just 6 seconds down on the overall, which means he's going to be ahead of all these guys. All of them. So he is no worse than 8th position. We saw gaps of a minute to anyone outside of the top 20. So unless all 7 of these guys were in the top 20, which I know some of them were not, we'll be ahead of some of them. But are we ahead of enough of them to still have a top 5? I know we won't have a top 3. I know that there was a couple guys. Happy finished 3rd on the stage. He'll be 2nd overall. Delaying, with that kind of gap, he's won this thing. So there's your 1st and 2nd place already. Fitting into 3rd, I know Dreg wasn't in a good place, but I think Morera, I think he was. These other guys were support riders, so maybe, just maybe, we still have a top 5. I don't think we have a top 3. Let's find out. Gibbons is 4th. 4th place. Figueiredo was the other one. So I was right about delaying and Habby 1st and 2nd. After that, gap opens. Figueiredo, the one guy who still slots in ahead of Gibbons. Good job from Gibbons under the circumstances. We just took a sprinter to 4th place in a mountain stage and multiple hilly stages. And he's very much not a multifaceted guy. He's just somebody who is more of a sprinter than everything, but kind of all around just average professional rider on a bike. He's going to be a domestique on most teams and not even a sprinter. Rarely gets to compete as a sprinter. But for us here, he somehow found himself getting good race day condition bonuses day after day and hung in there. Gets a top 5. It's still a partial failure, though. Kudos fell all the way to 26th position, 13 minutes down. Huge gaps. That's what a -2 race day condition will do to you on a race like this. We're at Perry Troy. I'm going really fast right now, but things can happen and will happen, and we've had 2 riders crash already, and the fatigue is starting to kick in, and we've just gone into the window of time to get water one final time. So Davids will go back for that. Also, it's pouring, hence all the crashes, and because of that, we've also seen a net -6 race day condition as a team, which is below what was expected, but I think comes down to the weather. Davids does not finish his task, and he's going to get dropped. Zerai and a Shim... Why a Shimway? Oh, the disconnect happened way up here, but Zerai also. These guys are done. Let's get them out. 30k to go, and we need to get water. And only one more time through the loop, through the circuit. So David's, we're getting him out. And Zerai, there we go. Put them on auto. And do I want a Shimway to be the one to go get water now? Peloton technically has 91, but he's the furthest one back. He's going to affect whatever anybody else does. And we see another disconnect. I think he's not going to make it back this time, because he's going to get to the front and try to chase. There's that steep hill. Yep, that just ran him out, so we'll get him out of there. Gibbons is among those who did not get water, so we really need to see it. We need to get it. We got a little split and a little split, so at least this time the split is, one of the splits is right behind us, so we don't have to drift too far back. I'm down to 4 guys and 16k to set this up, and Abdia doesn't have much in the tank. Fortunately, this group is making contact. We're down to 43 now. Still 3 riders off the front. They've not been caught, but with just over a minute, they should be caught. Should. Keyword. Very, very keyword. Gel now. Cabrevet. Go ahead and gel now as well. Gibbons, Arafane, we've protected them well. 9k. 40 seconds to those front guys. And I don't have the firepower. Oh, Abdia's not doing anything, so it's 3 guys. 7K. We got to wait just a little bit longer here. I think we'll go at about 6.7. 6.5. Yeah, there you go. Okay. Let's do it. Let's get the highest finish we can get. Gibbons is fine for the sprint. Aerophane will lead him out. Got some space here. 5K. He's not getting us to the front very comfortably. 4K. He's slowly bringing us forward, but we are not well positioned at 3.6K. Slight uphill. The last uphill. Coming out of this is where we want to see a 99 and a sprint for Breakaway. And then Aerophane going a little earlier than I want him to, but we don't have a choice. And Gibbons, come on, let's go, guys. Let's go, Gibbons. Let's go, Gibbons. It's top 10 for sure. Kruder, Vermeulen, Seelig. With a better lead out, Gibbons gets 9th. Wow, that was only 9th. With a better lead out, he's a contender today. Tough race. Tough race. That undulation did not go well for us. The race day condition did not go well for us. Our team was in bad shape. Multiple crashes, some fatigue that definitely set in through that undulation that left us very shorthanded at the end. And I had 3 guys to try to make that happen. Gabrayevet did his best on a 94 effort to go forward. 99 effort. I probably could have got him to go forward, but not terribly well. Gibbons is, even with a decent race day condition, still only a 72 flat, 73 sprint. He made progress with the sprint, but with that flat rating and with that fatigue kicking in, it was somewhat rough day, but we do get a top 10. Top 10 was exactly what we needed at Perry-Troy, so we get our first success in quite some time after starting the season oh so well. GP Van Koningslo is next. It's only a half star, so it's really not going to impact us much at all. And then we have 2 key, really just 2 sponsor objectives left. Castilla Leon, I was not going to be bothering with, but at 3.5 stars, I feel like we're going to have to try to get there. However, GP Crunch is where it's going to be our best chance, top 5, getting a stage win. Oh, that's 2 punchy stages. Okay, I'm going to have to carefully navigate who I bring to which, and we're going to have to try our best to do both. Punchy stages are one of those places, short punchy ones like that we can have some success, but GP Crunch is going to be one where we have to bring our sprinters to. So I'm going to have to carefully choose how I bring those 2 teams, because with success on both, we have a chance. With failure on both, we could stay the same if we don't succeed at least in one. It's going to be tricky. It's going to be really tricky. Our evaluation results-wise is not great. We do have 5 pluses so far this season, but overall, things have been rather... Gibbons, you could see, has lost popularity riding in Continental this season versus the popularity he had when we signed him. This is going to be really tough, and it's going to be our next episode. That's going to do it for this one. I'm Decathlon Gamer. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Have a good one. Be safe out there, and bye for now.